What's up everybody, Superdogs fan here for another car review. This is of course the 2000 Toyota MR2 Spyder. Huge thanks to Tom of the Tom Gear channel for hooking me up with this very rare and very pristine MR2 Spyder to review for you guys today. So about these cars, well, they came out right around the same time as the Porsche Boxster, and you know, we're right around the same era as the Honda S2000 and cars like that. The Miata, of course, was around forever, but this was kind of a cool competitor to those cars. The MR2s have always been mid-engine, but you know, to have a true Spyder style here with a fully convertible top and you know, having the mid-engine is very cool. And I think it's, you know, it's a cute little car. It kind of got a reputation for a chick car back in the day, but it was a really, you know, a fun and playful little car. It was a great little runaround for people, you know, on the weekends and things like that. And I think that overall, the looks of the car totally fit the car's personality. Right, for the interior of the MR2 Spyder, well, first thing, sitting down in these seats, they're pretty comfortable, cloth seats, of course, and the bolstering is actually pretty good. It hugs you in pretty nice and snug and feels similar to seats and stuff like the S2000 and cars like that. Pretty nice seats, not amazing, but not bad either. Next is the steering wheel in the MR2, which is really spectacular, I have to say. Nicely leather wrapped, really amazing 9-3 grip, no buttons or anything to worry about, just an awesome wheel, and it's a really good size. It's actually a little bit larger than I was expecting, but a great wheel, little 10-2 notches, but just feels great in your hands, especially at the 9-3 grip. Gauges in the MR2 Spyder, again, this is the year 2000, so nothing over the top. You just have your speedometer, your tachometer right there in the middle. It's nice to have it in the middle there, and you have your auxiliary gauges to the right side there, and you know, everything you need. And I like that they're white background and look pretty attractive for what it is. Coming along to the center of the dashboard here, this is where you see that obviously all the materials are very cheap and chintzy. All the plastics are horrible. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Everything is, you know, pretty loose and you know, hard plastics. But again, we're talking about a 15-year-old Toyota. What do you expect? That's just the way it is. Most people don't care that buy these anyway, you know, so everything is just meh. He replaced the standard stereo with this Pioneer head unit that's also about 7 or 8 years old, so that's not even that great either, but that's in there, and you know, gets the job done. And so, you know, that's basically it. But as far as storage space goes, this car actually has a few tricks up its sleeve. So it's crazy in the fact that it actually doesn't have a trunk. So obviously the engine's in the back, that takes up all the room in the back. In the front you have the spare tire usually. Now the owner of this one took the spare tire out of it, so you have a little tiny trunk there in the front, but that's where the spare tire would normally go. As far as stuff inside here goes, you have tiny little map pockets that fit only a map, and that's it in here. And then coming to the center here, you have 2 cup holders that slide out here, very cheap plastic, but at least they're there. That's cool. You have a cigarette lighter and then a little ashtray in here, and then you have a 3rd cup holder in the back here, which is impressive for these kind of cars. The S2000 only has 1 cup holder, so you have 3 in here, and then you have another little change dish or something in the back here, and this is I'm assuming an armrest as well, but very hard plastic. But the other cool storage space is behind the rear seats, similar to the S2000 and stuff like that. But these ones are actually larger than the S2000. You have, the whole thing opens up there in the back, almost as large as like a 350Z's storage space behind the rear seats there. You can fit a good amount of stuff. I'd say small duffel bags. It's not huge, but it's there. You know, you can fit a couple bags of groceries, things like that. Just enough to get you by, you know, for a weekend trip, probably something like that. But nice to have that. But that's it as far as all the storage space. All right, so start up and go for a drive. Basic Toyota key, it's all you have, old school here. Just slip it in and starts right up. Alrighty, so setting off in the 2000 Toyota MR2 Spyder. So first things that you notice, the clutch is extremely light. The shifters feels really good in your hands actually. I like the way it feels. And everything is very natural feeling. It's a very small car. You're sitting on the ground essentially, and you know, you don't have a whole lot of room in here, but it's obviously a purpose-built little roadster, and so that just adds to the fun. But let's turn onto this back road here and see how it does. Okay, so not rapid, but it's enough to get up and go. Now I have a passenger in here as well with cars that are this light and this small. That actually makes a difference. But we have 138 horsepower when it was new, and so maybe a little bit under that, but I mean, this one's only got 78,000 miles, so it should be in pretty good running condition still. It feels and sounds like it runs great, but you know, not enough power to blow you away, but again, this car was never meant for that. It's like the Miata, where it has, you know, a good progressive build of power, but it's nothing overwhelming. It's certainly not as exciting as the S2000 or anything like that, but it's fun in its own way. It's funny though, I'm going down the road here and I feel like I have like 2 lanes instead of 1. Like it's just, it feels so small on the road, it's awesome. Also, the steering is so light, the whole car feels light. It's just very eager to change direction, and you just noticed that from the very beginning. Just cruising though here, you know, on a normal road. It's nice, it's comfortable, you know, it doesn't seem overly stiff or unruly or anything. It's pretty nice, and obviously the convertible, I love convertibles, I always have, and so that always adds to the experience, just the open air environment, and you know, it's a nice little thing. Of course, especially with the top down, visibility is great, you can see everything around you, hood drops down, so there's no hood to worry about, it's just a tiny little thing, so there's nothing to look around or worry about, so it's great for that. I gotta say, it also does a pretty good job in here of getting rid of the wind noise. It's not super windy, at least yet. I haven't gone really super fast yet, but so far it's actually pretty quiet in here. Yeah, you know, it's enough power to have fun though. I'm, you know, just gotta roll through the gears, and it actually kind of pulls towards the top. So it's, you know, a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder, by the way, you know, so it's not the largest of engines, but you don't need it for a car that only weighs 2,200 pounds. So as we come to some corners here, we have some traffic, so it can't go too crazy, but just to get a taste of how it handles here, it's pretty good. It's a little floaty, and there's a little bit of body roll there, but it actually feels really good. And now the tires, this car has 185 wide tires in the front and 205s in the rear on 15-inch wheels. So I mean, tiny, tiny little things. So I'm sure you put some bigger wheels and tires, it'll go a long way on this car. But you know, even from the way it is here at the factory, it feels a lot like the Miatas. It feels a lot like the S2000, cars like that, where it's very playful and it loves to change direction really quickly. And you can feel, I mean, 2,200 pounds is extremely light. I mean, to put it in perspective, that's like 500 pounds lighter than a BRZ and FRS, which is currently regarded as a lightweight car. So, I mean, that's a big, big amount of weight. So, I mean, this thing really feels like a go-kart. It's fun. Another acceleration here. Now it revs up to around 7,000 RPMs, and you know, it likes to pull towards the top. It's definitely no kind of VTEC sensation or anything though. It's just a progressive, just same kind of power all the way through. Very predictable in that regard, and so that's okay. The only thing I can complain about the engine is you hear the engine, but it doesn't really sound that great. I wish that it sounded better, especially top down. You can really appreciate the way a car sounds. And with this, it doesn't really sound that great. So that's one thing that I wish, you know, you could obviously change that to your liking with an exhaust if, you know, you ever desired to. But, you know, from the factory, I just wish they gave it a little more sound. And we'll do another acceleration from a standstill here. Though it definitely is still a car to have fun, and again, it feels very similar to Miata in terms of power, and that's basically what this car is going for, except the engine's in the back instead of the front. But got some corners here, get a feel for it again. It does feel a little, it doesn't feel very confidence inspiring, I gotta say. It's very playful, but almost in a scary sense. These tires, you can definitely feel how skinny they are, and the car, you can tell that if you push it a little bit too hard, it'll probably lose it on you. It's just, it doesn't give you as much confidence as the competition. That's the only thing I can say. S2000, stuff like that, they were also light on their feet, but you felt like you knew when it was going to break loose, and you know, the suspension was more predictable. This is a little unpredictable, I'd say, and it's kind of hindering me from really pushing it too much. And the owner tells me that that's also the case in his experience as well. And but it is fun for sure. It's a fun little thing, and I mean, the lightweight is undeniably fun. But you know, it's just, I wish that it was a little bit more sure-footed. Maybe coilovers would help, something like that. But there's more body roll than you would expect for a 2,200-pound car. So it's surprising. It's definitely fun. I like the look of it as this mini little Ferrari kind of. But I think the competition kind of does a lot of the things better than this. And again, like I said, aftermarket can certainly improve a lot of that stuff. But pretty good. Not as awesome as I was expecting. So I mean, really, although, you know, this car is a pretty good backroads handler, you know, I would say that personally it's better. It's just a nice little fun cruiser, little runabout. You know, that's kind of, I think, the way this car is best suited. If I wanted to tear up a back road, I think I would do so in an S2000 or something similar to that. But for what it is, it's a fun little car anyway. And I'm just glad that Toyota made this. You know, this was back in the golden era of the, you know, the end of the 90s here, where Toyota was making some awesome cars. And hopefully they get back to that point again in the future. But, you know, stuff like this would be so cool. I mean, could you imagine if there was mid-engined convertible roadsters that were manual and fun and everything for, you know, the price that this went for back then, which was, you know, $20,000 range? I mean, that would just be awesome. And so who knows, maybe they'll do some more stuff in the future, but nevertheless, we can enjoy these now. Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about Toyotas. They hold up so well. I mean, this one's only 78,000 miles and it's as tight as a drum, but, you know, there's other ones that, you know, are way higher miles that are still kicking as well. This motor's basically bulletproof, and everything about the car is in old school kind of Toyota fashion, so you don't have to worry about anything. And this is a great car, I think, for, you know, someone wants a little starter car, you know, something cheap and fun to run around in, but they don't want to have a Miata like every one of their friends. This could be a really cool alternative. Again, you have to be careful with the handling, and I think that's something that should be improved if you really want to tear up a back road. But as it is, it's a really great little, you know, starter car for someone, a great little first sports car for someone that just wants to enjoy, you know, convertible top-down roadster kind of driving. And even with the top up, it's a great experience to just have a lightweight car, 2,200 pounds. And I think with a little bit of aftermarket help, these could really be even more spectacular than they already are. So a huge thanks again to Tom for allowing me to review his baby here today. And he's got a great channel. He's just started up, by the way. He's just posting videos for fun. But if you're curious, you can definitely check out the link in the description below and check out his channel. And I'm sure he'll be doing a video on this car as well eventually. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts about the MR2 Spyder here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care.